of the doubt, they can no time for no loss. I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah, refuse. Bond, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win, apply myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win, apply myself.
Welcome back to CTC. I am your gracious host, Carl, and I know I'm late, and Dave won't be joining me because of this. But I had some stomach issues, man. I was supposed to go live probably like an hour and a half ago, but my stomach was killing me. So, I spent the second half of I spent the second half in the bathroom. So, yeah, but I'm here to give y'all maction preview and your championship classic. But before I do that, I would like to ask if you leave a like, comment, subscribe, share the video if you like the content on this show or all the other shows. You got the main show featuring Joe, Tomo, and Dave, which I was a part of earlier. You got BWT, Baseball with Teddy, where he talks about baseball topics. He's now currently in the off season. He's talking about I guess it's regular season awards. I don't know if they incorporate postseason with the regular season with baseball awards. So I just know that they're talking about Golden Gloves and MVPs and awards like that. So FFC Fantasy Football with Coach Combs. We talked about fantasy heroes, fantasy bus, who to start, who not to play. And he goes live like Wednesday through Friday, I believe, at 9 in the morning. Then you have the Joe Jordan Show where he touches on hot sports topics and things involving his favorite team. You have the Dave Doghouse where he goes live on Wednesdays and he puts dogs in a doghouse and he makes dogs. We have RBO, Real Ballers Only. The second newest show on the network featuring Javon. And we have In the Red Corner, which just premiered Sunday, featuring Ty, Ricky, and Fast Camp. Their first episode, again, premiered Sunday. So if you like any of the content on any of those shows, please like, comment, subscribe, and, watch a couple videos. Watch the first video of In the Red Corner. And, if you like what you listen to, stick with us. So, first, I always got to do poll talk. So let me get the poll up here. This is not the college football committee poll because that will be tomorrow. Oops, I'm on the wrong thing. We are doing the AP poll and boom, right here. We are doing the AP poll. So for that, we have at 1, Georgia. Actually, we'll do this. 1 through 8 doesn't change. Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Florida State, Washington, Oregon, Texas, Alabama. No argument here. 9, Louisville. Okay, I'm cool there because Ole Miss dropped tremendously after the blowout loss. Oregon State, 10. Cool there. Mizzou moves up to 11. I'm good there. Penn State drops to 12. I'm okay there because they did lose to Michigan. 13, Ole Miss. I'm okay there. 14, Oklahoma. We're good. 15, LSU. Solid. 16, Utah, which is solid. 17, Tulane. I'm definitely okay with. 18, JMU. Actually, no. Flip JMU and Tulane. JMU 17, Tulane 18, which for right now currently means nothing. But maybe the NCAA has a heart with that letter of appeal. 19, Arizona, fine with. 20, Notre Dame, I am fine with. 21, Tennessee, I am fine with. 22, North Carolina, I'm cool with it, I guess. I mean, I still don't think they should be ranked. Double OT game against Duke with Riley Leonard out, but hey, still only 2 losses. Kansas State at 23. Oklahoma State, 24, and Liberty at 25. Other teams receiving votes: Iowa, Kansas, Toledo, Fresno State, SC, SMU, UNLV, NC State, Texas A&M, which is crazy, and Miami of Ohio. Only team to drop out the rankings was Kansas. I have no problem, other than that little flip, I have no problem with the AP 25. College is the one that matters, the College Football Committee. Excuse me, and that will be out tomorrow, probably around 7. Now, into the maction talk. So we have the first game, Toledo at Bowling Green, Tuesday at 7 o'clock on ESPN2. So for Toledo, can continue 2 turnovers in the second half. So last week against Eastern Michigan, 2 turnovers in the second half. 2 weeks ago against Buffalo, 2 fumbles in the second half. That can't be a trend. Now, I get they locked in their MAC Conference Championship game appearance. They're locked on their side, but still, you want to stay hot. No explosive plays given up. Don't give any explosive plays up. Bowling Green last week feasted on explosive plays against Kent State. Led to a blowout. Don't give those up. Daquan Finn continued to be dynamic. As always, use your legs, use your arm. If he's a threat, both on the ground and through the air, Toledo becomes dangerous. Feed Penny Boone, who has 1,042 yards and 12 touchdowns on the year, which is phenomenal. He's on pace to run for over 1,200 yards on the year, maybe even 1,300 yards prior to the MAC championship. And then find Juwan Newton. I say it every week because he has 9 touchdowns as a receiver. I think the next closest, I think, is 1, maybe 2. There aren't too many receiving touchdowns going around at Toledo. Juwan Newton by far leads them in touchdowns. So, got to find him, get him the football, let him bring it in the end zone for you. Now, hold on. Okay. Now, for Bowling Green, will Terrion Stewart be back? He was a late healthy scratch. Not healthy, Jesus. He was a late scratch. I think he was scratched with like 20 minutes before kickoff in typical college fashion. No idea. Came out of nowhere. Came out of nowhere. It was a scratch. I don't even remember what the injury was, but he didn't play, and that led to the huge game by Terrion Keith. But will he be back? He's a huge part of this offense. He's a main part of this offense. And by the way, my bad. The next closest in touchdowns to Juwan Newton through the air is Junior Vandeross with 3 touchdowns. Yep, Junior Vandeross with 3. So going back to Bowling Green, get the ball. Oh, nope, wrong. Get Terrion Keith the ball. He has 389 yards in the air and 3 tuds. But again, he had a huge game last week against Kent State, both on the ground and through the air. Forced turnover to get the crowd involved. Bowling Green has 13 interceptions on the year. Connor Bazelak can't afford to throw picks against this greedy, the stingy Toledo defense. And get Daquan Finn. Get to him. They have 25 sacks on the year for Bowling Green. But with that being said, I will rock with Toledo in this game. Toledo, stingy defense. I think they're like a top 20, top 30 in that range scoring defense in the country. They were a good defense last year. One of the best MAC defenses this year. Bowling Green's going to have trouble to score against them, and Toledo can put up points. I'm starting to hurt already. Next game, Western Michigan at Northern Illinois. Tuesday, 7 o'clock on ESPNU. For Western Michigan, feed Jalen Buckley, who has 892 yards and 9 touchdowns on the year so far. Get the ball to Kenneth Womack, who has 623 yards with only 1 touchdown on the year. Force a Rocky Lombardi interception. Rocky has 8 picks. No, not Rocky. Western Michigan defense, has 8 picks on the year. Stop Antoro Brown and don't give up a big lead again. So last week against Central Michigan, Western almost gave up. Well, they didn't almost. They gave up a huge lead. Looked like Central had all the momentum, but then Central missed the kick. Western went and scored, and Western took all the momentum back. However, that was at Western Michigan. This is at Northern Illinois. Can't afford to do that. Now for Northern Illinois, Rocky Lombardi, in my opinion, has to play better than he has the last 2 weeks. They have to stop the run. They have not done a good job against the run. That's why they lost to Central Michigan. That's why they lost to Ball State. And Jalen Buckley is going to be the biggest part of that for Western Michigan. Have to get the ball to Trayvon Rudolph. I think he's the best receiver on the team. So you got to give him the ball. Force Hayden Wolf to beat you because, again, you have to stop the run if you're Northern Illinois. It's been killing you the last 2 weeks. And keep Western Michigan offense behind the chains. That comes with stopping Jalen Buckley, forcing some 3rd and 7s, 3rd and 8s. But with that being said, I am going to pick Western Michigan because until Northern Illinois can show me they can stop the run, I won't believe that they can stop the run. I get they get back home. I think the last 2 games were on the road. I know Central Michigan was on the road. I can't remember if Northern Illinois last week was on the road. I want to say it wasn't, though. I want to say Ball State was on the road last week. Give me 1 second here. My stomach is hurting. I might have to make this quick episode. My stomach is killing me. But I'm trying my best to get this to y'all, man. I'm trying my best so y'all can have something before tomorrow at least. Nope. Ball State was at home. Yeah, they lost to Ball State at home. So, but I'm going to take Western to win that game. So, my next game, Akron at Eastern Michigan. Tuesday, 7 o'clock on CBS Sports Network. For Akron, Jeff Undercuffler has to play better. He had 2 interceptions last week against Miami of Ohio. Don't give up on the season. Now, this is around the time where some teams do give up. Akron is 2-8. Eastern Michigan, I believe, is 4-6 on the year. So don't give up. You have a chance to play spoiler. You have a chance to ruin Eastern Michigan's bowl bid, I believe. I believe they're 4-6. Yeah, they're 4-6. So with a win against Eastern Michigan will miss the bowl. So that's something to play for right there. Defense built on last week. They only gave up 19 points to Miami of Ohio, which Miami of Ohio is one of the teams in the race to face Toledo in the MAC championship in Detroit in about 2 weeks, I believe, like 2-3 weeks. Has to find some success through the air. That again falls on Jeff Undercuffler, and contain Austin Smith, which Austin Smith can use his legs if you allow him to. Eastern Michigan forced the Jeff Undercuffler interception. He's throwing gifts. I think he has 4 touchdowns and 8 picks on the year. Run it up on offense. If you force this Akron team to have to score, I don't think they can. So, I mean, I know Eastern Michigan struggles within themselves to score, but I think they score a little easier than Akron. So, if you force them to score, I think that helps them win this game. Get the ball to Tanner Cooney, 393 yards and 3 tuds on the year. He had a good year last year, if I remember correctly. I think this is more so of a down year compared to last year, but still got to give him the ball. I think he's the best receiver on this Eastern Michigan team. Stop Lorenzo Lingard, who's the running back for Akron. Don't allow them to just be able to hand the ball off. Make Jeff Undercuffler have to throw. And then Austin Smith throw touchdowns, not interceptions. Now, the reason why I worded it like that, because he has 7 picks and 7 touchdowns. He's 1 for 1. That can't happen. You got to throw more touchdowns than picks. Got to throw touchdowns, not interceptions. And with that being said, I'm going to go with Eastern Michigan. I think this is really a toss-up game. And what I normally do with toss-ups, I give it to the home team. Eastern Michigan's the home team. So I'm going to go there. Jeff Undercuffler is also prone to throwing picks. I get Austin Smith has 7 and 7, but Undercuffler doesn't have as many touchdown passes as Austin Smith. So I'm going to go Eastern Michigan in this game. Now, for Maction Wednesday, we have Central Michigan at the University of Ohio Bobcats. Wednesday, 7 o'clock on ESPNU. And 4, Central Michigan. Gotta feed Marion Lukes, who has 609 yards and 4 touchdowns on the year. Jace Bauer has to use his legs, which he's been doing, but he has to continue to do so. Got to get better throwing the football as well. Like, I just added that in there. Bring out your best plays. Now, the reason why I said that, Ohio is the 5th best scoring defense in the country. Not in the MAC, but in the country. Now, part of that has to do with playing MAC teams, but I remember the game against Iowa State, which Iowa State is currently on the roll. That game was low scoring, and I believe Ohio pulled it out. So, got to bring your best plays against Ohio. Got to mix it up. Get tricky if you have to. I'm not a proponent of trick plays, but normally you bring out trick plays when you feel like all is lost. So, no Jace Bowers interception. Now, Jace Bowers has 7 interceptions on the year, while Ohio's defense has 10 interceptions on the year. Cannot throw a pick in this game. Picks are vital in this game because points will be a premium. Ohio, again, is the 5th scoring defense in the country. Points are a premium. And have to stop the run. Got to stop the run with Sayed Bangura and O'Shea Allison, I believe that's his name. I know his last name is Allison, but I can't remember if his first name is like O'Shea. O'Shawn. It's O'Shawn Allison. There you go. There you go. And I ain't even, that's his name, O'Shawn Allison. I'm gonna still look to make sure, but I think that's his name, O'Shawn Allison. Yep, O'Shawn Allison. All right, cool. For Ohio, on 3rd down, I say it every week. On 3rd down, dial 12. Sam Wiglets. Continue to play stifling defense. They don't score, they don't win. It happened in Buffalo. Buffalo only got 3 points in the first half when Ohio couldn't muster any offense. Second half, Ohio musters up the offense. Buffalo only scores 7. Ohio wins. Feed Sayed Bangura, who was key late in the game against Buffalo. 564 yards and 6 touchdowns on the year. Stop Marion Lukes, which if you stop Marion Lukes, you force Jace Bauer to throw the ball, and that will more than likely lead to a pick. And keep CMU offense behind the chains again. Making Bauer throw the ball may lead to a pick. And with that being said, of course I'm going with Ohio. Give me the Bobcats. They're fighting right now to try to overcome the loss to Miami of Ohio earlier in the year to face then Toledo in the MAC championship and have a chance, I believe, to defend it. I believe Ohio won the MAC championship last year. So Ohio needs this game. Ohio's going to come out hungry. They're going to come out, I ain't going to say desperate, but they're going to come out fighting. So give me Ohio as I look up who won the 22 MAC championship in football. I think it was Ohio, though. Oh, it's Toledo. Toledo beat Ohio in the MAC last year. Okay, never mind. They would love to force that rematch. It's looking kind of bleak coming down to the wire, but Ohio, I said Ohio, Miami of Ohio, they haven't lost. They haven't lost. That game is looking like it's going to be the deciding factor. Now, for our last game of maction this week, we have Buffalo at Miami of Ohio, Wednesday, 7 o'clock on ESPN2. For Buffalo, it's going to have to find ways to score. They only scored 10 points against Ohio. Well, guess what, Buffalo? You're going against another great defense this week in Miami of Ohio, who is also like ranked like 12th. I think they're like tied for 12th for total scoring defense. I'll pull it up right here, but I think they're like 12th. Cole Snyder, no interceptions. He has 9 on the year. It's going to be tough for him not to throw one. He's thrown 9 in 10 games, so he almost averages one a game. Oops, I want the total defense, not scoring defense. Have to stop Rashad Amos, who has been balling. Rashad Amos is honestly, since Brett Gabbert has gone down, the best player on this offense. Now, one might argue he was still the best player on this offense. I disagree. I would have said it's Brett Gabbert, but hey, that's just me. Scoring defense, Miami of Ohio is tied with 12th with Oregon and Louisville. So another stifling defense for Buffalo to face after playing Ohio. Oh, man, my stomach. Feed Ron Cook Jr. the running back from DC, and can't become bowl eligible, but you can play spoiler again. Ohio needs this win. Miami of Ohio needs it to stay in front of Miami of Ohio. I believe if Miami of Ohio wins this game, they clinch because it would be one game left. They have the tiebreaker with Ohio, so they win this, they clinch. But if Buffalo wins, then it comes down to the following week. Now for Miami of Ohio, Avion Smith continue to be dynamic. Continue to be dynamic. Use your arm and your legs. Feed Rashad Amos, who has 702 yards and 7 touchdowns. Defense, build on the shutout last week against Akron. I get it's Akron, but it's still hard to shut out a team no matter who it is. Make Cole Snyder beat you, which will probably lead to an interception. And don't fall for the trap game. Again, Buffalo only 3 wins in the year, 3-7. Miami of Ohio, 8-2. Do not fall asleep. Buffalo will be out there giving you its best shot. But with that being said, I don't think Miami falls for it. I think Miami of Ohio wins strictly because of that scoring defense. Again, 12th in the country. Really good defense Miami of Ohio plays. Now, the offense left a lot to be desired last week. They leave a lot to be desired since Brett Gabber's been gone down. But I think they score enough to beat Buffalo at home to, I believe, clinch a spot in the MAC championship against Toledo. Boston College at Pitt is our last game I will be going over in college football of this episode. Now, this isn't maction, obviously. This is ACC play. This is the standalone game for Thursday. It's Thursday at 7 o'clock on ESPN. For Boston College, Thomas Castellanos has to use his legs. I mean, he's been doing it all year, and he's been effective doing it. Will Kai Robichaux be back? He did not play last week. He got hurt in the game against Syracuse. Will he be back this week? Boston College's best running back. Can they bounce back from blowout loss to Virginia Tech? I think they can. Last week, again, they didn't have Kai Robichaux. This week, they will. Virginia Tech has been playing really good football lately. Pitt, on the other hand, has fallen since beating Louisville. Get the ball to Lewis Bond, who has 500 yards and 5 touchdowns on the year. And force a Christian Felix interception. Felix has 8 interceptions. Boston College has 8 interceptions on defense. Now, what's it going to be? Is Felix going to leave with only 8 picks and Boston College gets no defensive picks? Or will Felix increase his total and increase Boston College's season total on interceptions? Now for Pitt. Pitt has been playing tough all year. Like I said, they even have the upset against Louisville at home. Louisville's only loss all year, I think, is to Pitt. Christian Felix, no interceptions. Can't throw none. Stick with the two-headed monster of Rodney Hammond Jr. and Sibo Flemster. Their stats are pretty identical. Dangle and they're identical at running back. And get the ball to either Bud Means or get it to both Bud Means and Kuna Mumfield. Whenever you have to throw the ball, these guys have been balling for Pitt so far. And get to Thomas Castellanos. They have 25 sacks on the year. With that being said, I'm going to take Boston College on the road against Pitt. Now, granted, I didn't like Boston College's win over Syracuse, and then they do get blown out the following week against Virginia Tech. But with Kai coming back, I think that is huge. I do think that they will play better this week. Normally teams respond after blowouts. So I think Boston College will respond after the blowout. Pitt, they're not playing spoiler. Boston College already has a bowl lined up. They only have 2 wins on the year. I mean, they could possibly fight to end the season on a good note, but there's also, I think, rumors that Pat Narduzzi might leave to take MSU. I think he's a candidate for MSU. Texas A&M is now open. Mississippi State is now open. Who knows how much Pat Narduzzi is entertaining those jobs. Just something to keep an eye out on. So I'm going to go ahead and take Boston College to win that game. And that's all I have for you for the college football portion. I'm going to give, because of my stomach, I'm going to get you a real quick Champions Classic preview. So the first game is MSU. is MSU at Duke, 7 o'clock. The Champions Classic is always in Chicago. Hold on, give me 1 second. Boom. Boom. Now, Michigan State is technically the road team, while Duke is technically the home team. It's a neutral site game, so that really don't matter. But Duke is favored by 3.5 points. Duke returns Cal Flipkowski, Jesus, Jeremy Roach, and Tyrese Proctor. Now, on the year, Cal averages 25 in 2 games, 7.5 boards, while Jeremy Roach averages 15.5 points, 1.5 boards, and 3 assists. And Tyrese is the fifth leading scorer with 8 points a game, but he averages 6.5 assists, so he's doing a lot more distributing this year. Meanwhile, on the other side, you have MSU, who returns a gang of people. You have them return Tyson Walker, Jaden Akins, AJ Hogarth. Why am I blanking? Maddie Sissoko, Malik Hall, Trey Holloman. I don't know if Cohen is back, but Carson Cooper. I'm blanking on some people, and I feel so bad. No, I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's all we return this year. I don't, like I said, I don't know if Jack Cohn is back. That's not Jack Cohn. Jesus, that's the quarterback. Why am I Jackson? I think it's Jackson. Why am I blanking on my man name, the big man, the sophomore big man? I can't believe I'm blanking on his name. And oh my God, I'm so sorry that I'm blanking on. I thought of Jack Cohn. That's the quarterback that used to play with Wisconsin that transferred to Notre Dame. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull it up because I'm so mad I'm blanking on his name right now. And I actually like bro too. Why is it on Monday? Here we go. I know he was hurt and he didn't play against JMU. I didn't watch the Southern Indiana game. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm not about to sit there and watch us play Southern Indiana. We just better do what we're supposed to do against Southern Indiana. Here we go. So from what I see, he did not play because he has no stats. He would have 1 game played. He did not play at all. So, but yeah, Tyson Walker averages 24.5 points. Jaden Akins averages 8.5. Cohen Carr, the freshman, averages 8.5. Malik averages 8. Sissoko averages 7.5, which I'm not worried about him scoring. Hogarth averages 6.5, and Trey averages 4. Now, our leader in assists is Trey Holloman with 4. AJ Hogarth averages 3.5, which he was third, I believe, in assists last year in the Big Ten. So he'll probably get that number up. Our leading rebounder per game is actually Jaden at 9. Maddie, that's what to me he's there for boards and defense. He's at 7. Carson Cooper is at 3 and 3.5. I still want to get my boy's name, so give me 1 second. But yeah, those are just some numbers in the game. Now, Duke, Cal Flipkowski is going to be a problem for MSU. As y'all know, I'm an MSU fan. He's a big man who can bang down low. He can stretch the floor. He can play the perimeter. He's knocked down the 3. Tyrese Proctor is a scorer. Like I said, right now it looks like they have him distributing for Duke, which is fine. And then you have Jeremy Roach, who can knock down big shots. He was knocking down big shots against Arizona and the loss to Arizona. Meanwhile, MSU, we have Tyson, who I think we're going to depend on a lot to score in that game as well as on the season. Tyson's going to – Jackson Kohler. Okay, that's what it was, Jackson Kohler. Sorry, big fella. We're going to rely on him a lot to score. We're going to rely on him a lot to play make. We're going to rely on him to make shots for other people. Malik Hall is going to be relied upon a lot. From the game I watched against JMU, he got in early foul trouble, but he's a guy that's streaky. We're going to need him to shoot from the outside. Jaden's a guy that can shoot from the outside and attack the basket. And we're going to need AJ Hogarth to come downhill and just attack, maybe get Cal in foul trouble. I do expect MSU to win this game. I don't expect MSU to blow them out. Obviously, I expect it to be a good game. It's just I think our guards can score with the best of them when locked in. I think AJ is tough to stop when he's locked in and attacking downhill. Tyson can score from anywhere on the floor, 3-point, mid-range, to the cup. He has everything as a guard. Our bigs aren't necessarily dependent upon. We're not necessarily depending on our bigs to score. Besides Malik, who's technically you could say is a forward, and Maddie, we just need him to play defense and get rebounds, which is going to be tough with that 7-footer down there in Cal. But I think he can get it done. I won't give any score predictions, just a winner and why. So we'll move on to Kansas at Kentucky. Kansas technically the away team. Kentucky is technically the home team. Kansas returns Dajuan Harris, KJ Adams. I think that's kind of it. I know they do bring in the transfer Hunter Dickinson, who was the prize transfer of the Kentucky's class. Let me find this game here. Where is it at? Oh, here you go, right here. Kansas also comes in rocking that number 1 in the country, which I actually agree with at the moment. Hunter Dickinson is averaging 19.5 and 8 boards, while Dajuan Harris is averaging 7.5. How can I forget about Kevin McCullough? That was the transfer from Texas Tech. I forgot about Kevin McCullough. I'm so sorry. Who's averaging also 18.5 points and 1 steal a game. 18.5, 6.5 boards for Kevin McCullough, the transfer out of Texas Tech. Now, I'll be excited, just like Duke. I will be excited to learn about their freshmen. I'm excited to learn about Kansas freshmen. See right here, I got Johnny Furphy, freshman, 6'9", freshman, averaging 10.5 and 4 boards. So kudos to him. You know, Kansas and Kentucky are known for bringing in nice freshmen. Kentucky more so than Kansas because normally Kentucky relies on endless freshmen. Now, for Kentucky, they do lose Severe Wheeler to Washington. I think Jacob Toppin is now gone. They do bring back Antonio Reeves, the transfer from Illinois State, I believe. They do bring in Rob Dillingham, the freshman, who everybody raves about. They do bring in Justin Edwards, I believe another freshman. Another freshman who's averaging 14 and 6 boards. Trey Mitchell. I want to say that's a transfer, right? Yeah, I want to say that's a transfer. Yeah, the transfer from Texas and West Virginia. I thought so. He's now at Kentucky, averaging 13.5 and 8.5 boards. So shout out to him and 3 assists. He's actually playing really well. Looking at the roster, they also bring in DJ Wagner, son of Dajuan Wagner. Played with Cal, I believe, at Memphis. So Kentucky's pretty good on their side of the ball too. Now, it's going to be tough for them to stop Hunter Dickinson down low. Hope they don't throw Trey Mitchell at him. Trey Mitchell's only 6'9". Hunter Dickinson, I believe, is a 7-footer. It's going to be tough for him down low. They don't have Oscar Tshiebwe anymore. He is now in the league. So, yeah, it's going to be tough for Kentucky. They're a team full of guards. Trey Mitchell looks like they're only big. Antonio Reeves, it has him listed as a guard, but he's like 6'6", 6'7". He's like a forward. Excuse me. But that's the reason why I'm going to go with Kentucky in this game. Kentucky is minus 5.5. I'm going to go with Kentucky in this game because of Hunter Dickinson. Hunter Dickinson is, I believe, like I said, a solid 7-footer. I just don't see nobody stopping him on this Kentucky team. I don't. I looked it up. Hunter Dickinson is 7'2". I thought he was at 7 feet. He's 7'2". Trey Mitchell is going to be in for a long night trying to stop that. Kentucky's going to be in for a long night trying to stop that. Dajuan Harris is a great facilitator. Kevin McCullough will play defense. KJ Adams can get a bucket here and there. Hunter Dickinson can get a bucket. I know he's added the outside shot to his game. He can bang in the post, which they'll probably have him do that soon with the height advantage. Kentucky will probably double down on Hunter Dickinson, which will allow other guys to get shots. I just think Kansas is a bit too much for Kentucky. I think Kansas wins it. So my 2 winners for the Champions Classic is MSU, obviously, and Kansas. Let me know if y'all disagree or agree in the comments below. But with that being said, that's all I have for y'all tonight. Y'all. Oh no, you know what? Scratch that. I do have one other thing for y'all. I'm gonna take this down. Now I do have to talk about not in depth. I'll just give some shout outs. Shout out Michigan. Hate to do it, but on my show I can't be biased. Shout out Michigan for winning at the Garden against St. John's. Blowout fashion, 89-73. Doug McDaniel had 26. I'm gonna butcher this name. Namari Burnett had 21 all in the first half. I think he was like shooting perfect at one point, and then he like missed a layup. It was, if you watched the show earlier, if you saw my face drop, like my jaw drop, I seen him miss a layup, but I knew how hot he was. Joel Soriano, the big man for St. John, had 15 and 9, but it wasn't enough. As like I said, Michigan absolutely dismantled St. John. Dennis Jenkins, I believe the transfer from Iona. Yeah, the transfer from Iona. He had 10 to go along with Joel's 15. And Jordan Dingle, I believe another transfer. Yep, from UPenn had 10. So, but like I said, it wasn't enough. They didn't get enough from everybody else. Like I said, Doug McDaniel had 26. Burnett had 21. Terrence Williams had 12. Yeah, so shout out Michigan. Then shout out Purdue. Shout out Purdue for beating Xavier. And upset of the day, UPenn upsets 21st ranked Villanova. 76-72, I believe, at UPenn. For that, Tyler Perkins had 22 for UPenn. Justin Moore did have 25 for Villanova, but it wasn't enough. Villanova also have transfer Hakeem Hart coming off the bench. Only played 9 minutes. Chris Arcidiacono only played 3 minutes. Had 0 points. TJ Bamba, I believe the transfer from Washington State, had the transfer from Washington State had 6 points, 0 for 4 from 3. And I believe Eric Dixon, the big man, big fella, he had 12, 4 of 11 from the field and 9 boards. Just not going to cut it from Villanova. Meanwhile, UPenn got 22 from Tyler Perkins, got 12 from Eddie Holland, got 10 from Nick Spinoso. Their whole starting 5 scored in double digits. That's the recipe, man. 5 double-digit scores, all starters. Only 2 starters in double digits. It looks like it was more so Justin Moore trying to carry the load for Villanova, and he could not do so. Don't see any other upsets of the night. Florida State took care of business. I guess if you want to say Western Carolina was an upset over Middle Tennessee State, both coming in at 2-0. Western Carolina gets the dub there. I don't know if you want to call that an upset or not. In the books, it was an upset, so I guess if you want to. Pepperdine handled business. Cal handled business. Yeah, I don't see any upsets. Shout out Nebraska. I know they got a key person coming back. Kisi Tomananga. He came back. I believe he had 9 points in his debut. So shout out to him. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all today. Ooh, my voice. That's all I got for y'all today. I will be back Friday on my birthday to preview Saturday's games. That Friday has 2 games. Preview those. Preview Saturday and give you your recaps for your maction. Tuesday and Wednesday, your standalone game Thursday. And I'll recap MSU Duke. I might bring some Dukies with me. I might bring a Spartan with me. Who knows? But until then, I'm out. Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button, no matter what you're listening to or watching it. hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.